Hello, hello, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Megan Talks. You can find me by that username on Instagram and TikTok if you're interested in seeing more of me. I also have a podcast called Divine Delectable Delirious. It is a Gilmore Girls analysis podcast that I do with my sibling. So check us out on Spotify if you want to listen to that, if that sounds interesting at all. Okay, as the title suggests, today we're going to talk about something really fun, which is the fact that I just got married. So I'm trying to remember. I definitely talked about the fact that I was getting married in my last YouTube video that I did with my now husband, which was a Taylor Swift Evermore like first listen for him and review where he told us his favorites and his least favorites. Go check that out on my page if you're interested at all. Today, I am going to tell you guys a little bit about what we did for our wedding, what it looked like, how it went, that sort of thing. I don't know exactly what's going to come to me in terms of details and whatnot. And then at the end, I'm going to show you guys a few pictures, a few of my favorite pictures. We did a lot of things. We had a lot of parties. We celebrated with a lot of different people, truly all across the country. So let's set the stage here a little bit. First of all, I'm in Sweden right now, which is amazing. I've done a few videos being in Sweden. This is where I will eventually move to the north of Sweden. This is where my now husband still lives. We will actually be like long distance married for a little while because we have not yet started the visa process. We had the opportunity to start it essentially right before the wedding because there are certain requirements that we needed to meet, and we had like just finally met all of those requirements. And we decided to go ahead and put it off until after the wedding so that we could like put our 100% focus on doing the wedding first and then doing the visa process. So that's a little update about that. Hopefully, once we start the visa process, the hope, please keep your fingers crossed for me, is that I will be able to move to Sweden after about a year. The visa process can take anywhere from like 4 months to 2 years. And that's even just with like an approval first time. So again, keep us in your thoughts, send good vibes our way, fingers crossed, pray for us, whatever it is that you do, please. I would really appreciate the good vibes. My husband got, it's so weird to say husband, I will say, like that thing of getting used to saying from going from boyfriend to fiance, that felt like a big jump. But then I got really used to fiance like really fast. But getting from fiance to husband and like for my husband getting from fiance to wife, it's just a whole other thing. And to be honest, fiance is such a weird word, but it's also such a fun word. And so for us, we like to do a lot of like silly songs and silly like vocal stems. And fiance is a much funnier word, much more fun word to like vocal stem than wife or man or wife or husband. In Swedish, husband is just man. So, and in Swedish, wife is fru. I kind of hate both of those. I much prefer the Swedish version of fiance, which is either festmur or festman. That's like a fun word to say as well. But okay, so my now husband got 2 weeks off of paid vacation from work, paid time off from work. So he came to the US a week before, or like 5 days before the day that we had our wedding. So he got to the US, got to the town that I live on Monday, and our wedding was on Saturday. So I had spent the week before he got here getting our wedding venue ready because we did get married at my grandparents' house here in Kansas. On Monday, he got to the US. Tuesday, we kind of had a free day, except for on the way home from the airport, my husband, Conrad is his name, saw a sign for Bass Pro Shop. And on Tuesday, the next day, I was going to pick up some of my friends from the airport. And Conrad decided to come along so that we could also go and visit Bass Pro Shop. So that was like something that we did. It kind of is like a tourist destination, honestly. It has some really interesting things, some like taxidermy, at least the one that's close to me. Yeah, that's a whole other YouTube video if you want to know more about Bass Pro Shop. So we picked up my friends from the airport on Tuesday, And then on Wednesday, we had both our like meeting with the preacher who was going to marry us, who is my uncle. And also we had like a family dinner. Everybody in my family that was in town came over to my parents' house, and we had kind of like a welcome dinner, just like getting to see some people that were in from out of town, that sort of thing. So that's Wednesday. Thursday, I had my like bachelorette party, and I put that in quotes because it was truly kind of like a little garden party situation. And actually, my husband came and joined, as well as like my stepdad and my brother and my uncle and some of my other family friends that were at like the bachelor dinner. So the boys went and had dinner at like a restaurant in the downtown area. The gals had a little potluck bachelorette party that I called Dips and Desserts. I'm doing this a lot, but that's just like all the time. I love this. I love this. Sorry. Okay. So it was like dips and desserts is what I called it. So everybody brought either a dip or a dessert. We ended up having so much food. I got to see so many people that like I love and care so much about. This was also an opportunity, the bachelorette, for me to celebrate with some of the people that I wasn't able to invite to the actual wedding, because the actual wedding took place at my grandparents' house, which is a couple hours away, and not everybody was either going to be able to travel, or also I have a really really big family and very very large but tight knit friend group, and so our we were kind of at capacity already. So this was another chance to like celebrate with some people that didn't come to like the actual wedding. So that was really really fun. That was Thursday. So then Friday we traveled the couple of hours to where the wedding venue was. We all day like worked on just continuing to get the venue ready, and then that night we also had like a rehearsal dinner. I don't know why it was a rehearsal dinner. There's no air quotes about it. We had all of the people that I called like my bridesmaids, even though nobody else stood up with us like while we got married actually, and we didn't have any groomsmen because my husband is from Sweden and nobody was coming from Sweden, unfortunately. So it was just my bridesmaids. And then we had all of what we called our flower kids as well. So instead of having like flower girls and ring bearers, we decided to just go with flower kids. And we matched each of the flower kids up with one of my bridesmaids. And that's who like walked down the aisle together. So it was really cute. So that's what we did on Friday is we had like catered Italian food, did the little rehearsal, continued to get everything ready. I mean, me and my husband and my mom ended up being at the venue until about 12:30 p.m. just doing like the last final things of like getting stuff ready for the morning, getting like the things ready for brunch that we were going to have. I made a bunch of breakfast burritos and cut up a bunch of fruit, and then came back early Saturday morning. I say early, it was like 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. Came back Saturday morning, and that was wedding day, the big day. We had breakfast burritos. A bunch of my friends came, a bunch of my family came, and we like set up all of the like final decor, made sure to get all the drinks ready, got the buffet pretty much ready to go. We did a taco bar buffet that we actually made everything ourselves. So shout out to my brother who helped me with all of like the food prep and like processing. So that was really, really nice. We had ground beef and shredded chicken, and then like stuff to make nachos, burritos, tacos, and then also like a bunch of like chips and dip and stuff like that. My brother also made a couple of cheesecakes, and then one of my mom's friends made us like our actual wedding cake, which was amazing. And then we just got like a bunch of cupcakes from Sam's Club. So the wedding RSVP amount was like 63 people. I have worked catering gigs and worked in restaurants for a really long time, and I still ended up overestimating the amount of food that we were going to need by so much. We ended up having so many leftovers. A bunch of it ended up getting frozen, and we'll just eat it later, or like hopefully some of my family has eaten some of it. The flowers, this is getting ahead of myself, but in terms of cleanup, the flowers all went to like the hospital, and I think my mom took the unopened cupcakes there as well. I don't entirely know because we didn't do too much of the cleanup, which was really nice. But yes, so Saturday was the big day. It was just like not chaos all day, but it was just things happening all day. So we got there, we got things ready, we did final touches. All of my bridesmaids like came back while we all got ready, and like people came at like the wedding ceremony started at 5:15 ish, And I had people get there between 3 and 4 so that we could also like just get prepared and like get pictures taken and do all of that. I had originally planned that we would go outside and take pictures before the ceremony, but then it was so hot. Like, June in Kansas can be very mild and very lovely, or it can be like scorching hot and humid. And we unfortunately got the scorching hot and humid type of June 13th, which was the day that we got married. It had been like beautiful the whole week, and then it did just get like extra hot that day. So the sun was beating down. I was like, do I really want to go outside and take pictures and get sweaty before I even have the ceremony? Not really. So instead, we opted to just like me and my husband walked around and just tried to take selfies with as many people as we ran into, as many people as we could find, as many groups as we could find, and just tried to like take some pictures of a little bit more like candid situations as well. And so that was really nice and really fun. So then at like 5 o'clock, we gathered, we had everybody go outside. We gathered my husband, the preacher, the guy that married us, my parents, so my dad and stepmom, and my mom and stepdad, and then all of my bridesmaids and all of the flower kids. We like gathered in the garage, and then everybody else went outside. And then we came out around 5:15, did the ceremony. The ceremony was like bang, 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 done in, I think, about 20 minutes or so, which was like what we wanted. We also opted to just do traditional, like Christian vows or whatever. We did not write our own vows. I am not the best at speaking under duress. Like, I don't really, like, I can get through it and I can do it, but I don't like look forward to it. It just makes me really anxious and nervous. And the thing that was really nice was we had gone over exactly what we were going to say, the exact vows that we were going to do with our preacher at the meeting that we had on Wednesday. And then also we did it another time at the rehearsal. Like, we went through the entire thing. And so that was really nice. On Saturday, like, I knew exactly what was coming. I knew exactly what like we were going to say. So that was really nice. And honestly, walking down the aisle and like getting up there, I felt a cool breeze. Like, it was so nice. We just got to like, we looked at my uncle, the preacher, for a little while, or the pastor. He's a pastor. He's actually a doctor, reverend. Um, we looked at him for a little while, and then we looked at each other. We said the vows. We exchanged the rings. It was so easy, and it felt so just like right and good, and it was so nice, honestly. And I will say, I never really imagined getting married. I never really thought that that was going to be my journey. If you could ask any of my best friends that I've had, or my parents that I've had since I was a kid, I always knew that I wanted to be a mom, that I wanted to be a parent, that I have mothering energy, that I like wanted that for myself. But I never necessarily wanted to get married. I never thought that that was like the quintessential thing that needed to happen to make the motherhood part happen. But when I met my now husband, it was like, yeah, of course I want to marry this man. Like, of course I want to like say vows to this man and like stand up in front of all of our friends, and I'd get to have a party and get to like, just do the thing, like do the traditional thing, do what so many people have done for so much of human history. And however that looks for you, it doesn't have to be like a traditional Christian wedding. It can be whatever you want it to be. But I do think that I now really understand so much more the value in doing that, in like standing up in front of everybody and vowing to each other and everybody that is witness to you that you will love each other and that you will try your hardest to make your relationship work forever. I just think that that is like a beautiful and special thing. And I don't say that I never thought about getting married in that like I was against getting married. I just never viewed it as the most important thing, Which means that I also didn't really have like an aesthetic vision for my wedding in any sort of real way.